Hello, dear friends. After so many challenges and hardships, thanks to Alex, always being by her side, encouraging her, Tuna has learned to become stronger so she can protect Henry. The love and care from Mrs. Min warmed Tuna's heart, giving her hope of a complete and happy family. But just as Alex was hoping she would stay to rest and keep away from danger, Tuna made an unexpected decision to return to the farm. Will that place truly be a safe haven, or could there be hidden dangers lurking behind those familiar fields? Stay with me until the end of the video to find out the answer. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you can follow Tuna's dramatic journey. After spending a few days resting in Alex's protective embrace, Tuna returned to the small farmhouse. The old wooden door creaked open, and a cold breeze from the fields swept in, making her shiver. Even though the place was familiar, the fears lingering inside her hadn't completely faded away. Alex carried Henry inside, the warmth of the child softening the heavy air in the room. Henry laughed and babbled, his tiny hands patting Alex's shoulder, as if trying to chase away some of the tension that hung over the house. Alex set him down on a chair, his sharp eyes scanning every corner from the ash-stained stove, the half-open window, to the empty yard outside. Still uneasy, he stepped outside, circling the house. His footsteps pressed into the damp ground as his eyes examined every path, the fence, even the bushes by the corner. He moved like a silent guard, ready to face any danger just to protect the woman and child waiting behind the door. Only when he was sure nothing was out of place did Alex return to Tuna's side. He looked at her for a long moment before speaking, his voice calm but edged with concern. "I have to meet a client now. Please stay home and watch Henry carefully." Tuna nodded quietly. His words were more than just a reminder. They carried a sense of trust, something that made her heart feel steadier. Alex bent down and pressed a gentle kiss on Henry's forehead. The boy giggled happily. Then Alex turned to Tuna, his warm hand brushing her hair as he left a soft kiss on her forehead. In his eyes was a silent promise. "No matter what storms are out there, I'll always be here, the shield for you and our child." Tuna smiled faintly, her eyes glistening. She knew that with Alex, she was no longer alone. Life ahead might still be full of challenges, but for now, her faith was stronger than her fear. Alex squeezed her hand one last time before stepping outside. The door closed behind him, leaving the room in stillness. Holding Henry close, Tuna felt her heart filled with both warmth and unease. Deep down, she couldn't help but wonder, how long could this peace really last? Or was there still some hidden danger silently waiting beyond the quiet facade? In the small farmhouse, Tuna kept busy with her daily chores. Her thin hands moved quickly, washing dishes, stoking the fire, tidying up the simple belongings. Yet no matter how occupied she was, her eyes always followed Henry, the little boy, who was her lifeline, the reason she found the strength to push through everything. Every innocent smile from him seemed to erase the pain she had once carried. Far away in the rush of city life, Alex buried himself in work. Endless calls and contracts kept him tied up without a break. Still, in every moment, the image of Tuna and Henry remained vivid in his mind, like an invisible thread, pulling him back to them. When the workday ended, Alex didn't choose to rest. Instead, he drove straight to a toy store, his heart full of longing. Surrounded by colorful shelves, he quietly searched for a small, soft, and cozy cradle, something that would give Henry peaceful sleep. His gaze softened as he touched each detail, as if he were touching the bright dreams he wanted for his son. But Alex didn't forget about Tuna. He stopped at the jewelry counter looking at the delicate items meant for women. It wasn't about the price, it was about wanting the girl who had endured so much hardship to feel loved and cherished. Every gift he picked carried a silent message. I know you've suffered enough, and from now on, I'll be the one to make it up to you, so you'll never have to carry it alone again. Under the store's warm golden lights, Alex's face reflected both tenderness and determination. Clutching the gift bags tightly, he told himself, no matter how many storms are out there, I'll give the best of everything to you and Henry, because the two of you are my family my whole life. That afternoon, the sun cast a soft golden glow over the trees surrounding the farm. After finally soothing Henry to sleep, Tuna sat quietly by his makeshift cradle, her distant eyes fixed on him. The fading light slipped through the window, stretching her thin shadow across the worn wall. Gratitude filled her heart, mixed with a quiet fear she had Alex now. Yet she couldn't help but worry that this happiness was fragile. The sudden sound of a car engine at the gate startled her. Henry stirred his tiny hand, gently grasping his mother's. Tuna quickly carried him to the porch. Then Alex appeared, his strong figure framed against the fading light arms full of shopping bags. He walked in his face, lighting up the moment he saw Henry. Setting the bags down, he first bent to kiss his son's forehead, then turned to Tuna with a gentle smile. I brought something for both of you. Tuna froze in surprise as Alex pulled out a brand new cradle, ivory white, soft and sturdy. Her hands trembled as she reached out to touch it, tears slipping down her cheeks. Why go through all this trouble? She asked, her voice breaking. Alex stepped closer, gently taking her hand, his eyes filled with determination. It's not trouble. It's my responsibility and my happiness. You've already been through so much. From now on, let me make it up to you. He opened another bag and revealed a few small gifts for Tuna. A light scarf, a simple lipstick, and some practical items. Nothing extravagant, but each piece carried his care and love. Overwhelmed, Tuna burst into tears and wrapped her arms around him. Henry, sensing the joy, laughed in his mother's embrace. The three of them huddled together, filling the humble home with a warmth that felt priceless. Outside, the sky deepened into shades of sunset. A gentle breeze carried the scent of grass and earth. But inside Tuna's heart, a quiet question lingered. How long can this peace really last? Or is another storm already waiting just beyond the horizon? As night fell, the little farmhouse kitchen glowed under the warm yellow light, wrapping the space in a cozy embrace that felt like family itself. Rolling up his sleeves, Alex smiled at Tuna and said, "Tonight, let me show off my cooking skills." Tuna laughed, her eyes sparkling with happiness. She sat down by the kitchen table, her hand gently brushing against his strong arm. Her gaze lingered on his face, a face marked by hardship, yet now lit up with the joy of a simple moment. They began preparing dinner together. Alex clumsily chopped vegetables, the knife slipping slightly at times, which made Tuna laugh again. She reached out softly to guide his hand, her delicate fingers resting on his rough ones. For a moment, silence filled the room, broken only by the rhythm of their hearts and the steady clinking of knife against board. Nearby, Henry lay in his brand new cradle, the one Alex had searched so hard to find. The baby waved his tiny hands, giggling as he watched his parents busy at work. His pure laughter filled the kitchen, sweeping away any trace of the shadows that once lingered. Soon, the table was set with simple yet heartfelt dishes: a steaming bowl of soup, a plate of fresh greens, and a few carefully cooked slices of meat. Alex pulled out a chair, motioning for Tuna to sit. He gently served her food, his eyes brimming with care. Tuna looked at him quietly, her heart overflowing with emotion. She reached for his hand and whispered, "With you here, I feel truly blessed." Alex squeezed her hand back, answering with a tender smile. From the cradle, Henry cooed softly, as if adding his own voice to the happiness they shared. In that peaceful atmosphere, dinner was more than just a meal. It was proof of a home slowly being built, a place where love, trust, and hope intertwined, lighting up the humble farmhouse with warmth and meaning. After their simple yet heartwarming dinner, the little kitchen glowed softly under the warm yellow light. Henry was fast asleep in his new cradle, an innocent smile still lingering at the corners of his lips. The house was quiet, with only the faint whisper of the night breeze slipping through the window. Alex sat down beside Tuna. He looked at her in silence for a long while, as if trying to capture every gentle detail of her face. Then he reached for her hand, the hand worn from years of hardship, yet to him, it was where he found peace. His voice was deep and steady, filled with certainty. "Tuna, no matter what happens in the future, I just want you to remember one thing. Always hold my hand. We'll face everything together. Hardships, challenges, storms. I don't ever want you to bear it all alone again. What I want is to build a truly happy home with you." Those words echoed in Tuna's heart like a warm melody. Her eyes grew wide, shimmering with tears, yet shining with happiness. Overcome with emotion, she couldn't speak. She simply nodded. A tender smile spread across her face, like a flower blooming after a long rain. In that moment, Tuna realized all the losses of her past had been healed by Alex's genuine love. And Alex knew from that very second that he would do everything to protect this woman and write a new warm chapter of life with her. Inside the humble home, their hands tightened around each other, their hearts beating in sync, and on their faces shone an unshakable faith in the happy home that awaited them ahead.